I always talk about being organised, and doing this, it is critical, especially when it's cold, because the last thing you want to be doing is making rigs. So I use my Black Magic rig holder. I use these guys for everything from whiting fishing to trout fishing and everything in between. They hold the rig neatly, and this is the rig. It's quite simple, but works very, very well. Tiny little swivel down to this dropper of line that comes off here. We crimp our weight onto that, and as that rig bounces along the bottom, generally it's the sinkers that'll get snagged, so when you pull it, they'll slide off and you don't lose your whole rig. From there, down to some 8-pound Black Magic fluorocarbon leader, and then we've got the Black Magic glow bug and a little black nymph as well, which drag along behind the split shot. It's a really effective way to fish. The gear I'm using here is very versatile sort of gear. I've got my 8-foot Storm Shore-X rod. It's the 802 ML. It's very soft, very light, perfect for this and a lot of other light tackle fishing applications. I've got one of the new Akuma Sema 30 reels, and I would have to say that for a reel that retails at under $150, this is one of the best pieces of gear that I've ever used. It doesn't throw wind knots fishing with this braid, and this is 4 kilo Black Magic Inferno braid, and doing this sort of stuff, you do tend to get a lot of wind knots at times because you're winding back a lot of slack line. And after a couple of days of fishing up here, it has not thrown one wind knot, which to me makes it just a great reel. It's beautiful gear to fish with. It's nice and light, and it's just so versatile. The long rod allows you to cast a long, long way, but it also allows you to keep the hooks in those big fish because you're only fishing tiny little hooks. Come on, out of that current, out of that current. Don't go down. Here we go. And once you get them out of that main flow, you can sort of change the fight a lot. This is a pretty reasonable fish, I think. If you can't get the fish to come back up, you go down to them. I'm going to try and slide him back up. That's where this rod's so good. It's just nice and soft. You don't feel like you're going to pull the hooks all the time. You will still pull hooks, but it's quite forgiving. Here we go, got him out of that flow. Wow, that's a bigger fish than I thought it was going to be. And this is pretty well getting up there to what I think is one of the best looking brown trout that you get. It's very, very gold in colour. It's a big male. And a big head, big hook jaw. Come on, pal. Look at that. I'll ditch the rod. It is just such ridiculously good fun doing this stuff. You never know if the next fish is going to be 2 pound or 10 pound. For me, I've never found my 10 pounder in the Snowy Mountains, but maybe that's what keeps me coming back. But even if they said you're never going to catch a 10 pounder here, I think I'd still be here a couple of times a year just to catch fish like that. It's up here to do one thing, and that's breed, so I better send him back so he can make a whole lot more little trout for me and all of you people to come and catch, and all these boys. Let's get out of here, it's freezing.